Batang Gilas' successful campaign in the FIBA U18 Asian Championship was highlighted by their semifinals finish and a slot for next year's U19 World Cup, a feat unattained in Philippine basketball in nearly 40 years. The team was billed up to be one of the strongest and tallest incarnation of Batang Gilas, and our boys lived up to the high expectations. Certainly, the talented lineup of Kai Sotto, Dalph Panopio, and the rest of the squad bring about budding potential for upcoming tournaments. But to simply say the future is bright for Philippine basketball is cliché, and it removes itself from self-examination. As their fourth-place finish would suggest, the burden with potential is being young and inexperienced. We celebrate their accomplishment and take home the valuable lessons from competing against Asia's best. Here are some of the things we can learn from the FIBA U18 Asian Championship. Kai Sotto is talented to compete at any level. In a span of 5 months, the 16-year-old Kai Sotto competed in 3 FIBA tournaments. He represented the country in the U16 Asian Championship last April in Foshan, China, and was also part of the U17 World Cup contingent that participated in Argentina. A month later, he was back at it again for the U18 Asian Championship. In all 3 tournaments, he was Batang Gilas' focal point on both ends of the floor. And Sotto isn't great simply because of his 7'1" frame, but it's the way he uses his immense size and length. He can hit you with a hook, a floater, a dunk, or even a three-pointer, a kid who possesses a deadly combination of a traditional post game and outside range. On defense, his length registers blocks, while his footwork and timing alters shots. In the U18 Asian Championship, and against older and more experienced centers, he stood toe-to-toe with them and did not wilt under pressure. Whether he's facing youth teams from Malaysia, Japan, Argentina, Egypt, China, or Australia, Sotto is a unique talent that can go up against any team from any country. Granted that he still has a lot of room for improvement, letting him constantly participate in international tourneys can only breed positive results in the future. Continuity plays a role. 5 players, namely Sotto, Jerry Abadiano, Bismarck Lena, Raven Cortez, and Jian Chu, were part of the U17 World Cup team that also competed in the U18 Asian Championship. If you talk to the players, as well as head coach Josh Reyes, they would attest that their experience in Argentina prepared them for the U18 level. Continuity plays a huge role in growth and development for the Batang Gilas as it breeds familiarity and chemistry. New additions like Sotto and Dalph Panopio obviously needed an ample amount of time to get used to the system, but that's why you had Sotto, Cortez, Abadiano, and the rest to guide them. Reyes believes that the key to a strong basketball program is how you develop players at a young age. Other countries such as China and Australia have been together months, or even years, before competing in FIBA tournaments. The idea may be new to Philippine basketball, but it may become a prerequisite if we want to win the Asian Championship or even at the World Cup. The need for shooting. The Philippines was 10th overall in points per game at 67.8 among the 12 teams that competed in the U18 Asian Championship. As a team, Batang Gilas only shot an average of 36% from the field and 25% from downtown. In comparison, the 3 medal finishers China, Australia, and New Zealand shot at least 43%. Even a strong defensive lineup of Sotto, Ildefonso, Achin, and Abadiano may be a nightmare for opposing teams, but their efforts would fall in vain if they can't put the ball in the hoop. The Philippines' struggle in shooting the basketball was highlighted by its 77-43 defeat at the hands of Australia in the semifinals. No Filipino player scored in double figures in that game, and nearly all the players misfired on their shots. Defense certainly wins games and championships, but the lack of consistent shooting may become a liability for future Philippine squads. It won't matter what kind of offense we use or whatever scoring philosophy we apply if we won't be able to execute. Australia and New Zealand are the new standards. Australia and New Zealand, both previously from the FIBA Oceania region, are the new additions in the FIBA Asia grouping. If you take out the two in the U18 tourney, then the Philippines is only second next to China. Furthermore, if you put value in our group stage win over China, then technically, we can consider ourselves Asia's top team. Unfortunately, this is not the case. Instead, Australia claimed the U18 title with New Zealand earning second place, while China swooped in at third, forcing us to miss out on a podium finish. Both Australia and New Zealand represent where we want to be Asia's best. There's no going anywhere around it now. If they're in our region, we have to take them on. Previous giants like China, Iran, or Korea used to be the teams that we aspire to be, even at the seniors level. Now, it's the boomers and the tall blacks. But if we have the means to topple a team like China, then we can eventually beat a team like Australia. In order to be the best, you have to beat the best. And at this stage, the two best teams are Australia and New Zealand. In order to move forward, even at the U18 level, the bar of success is now being represented by the two countries. The need to prepare for the U19 World Cup. A year from now, Batang Gilas will compete against the best of the best in the U19 World Cup. Lessons learned from the U17 World Cup and U18 Asian Championship will be vital for the program moving forward. Preparation time, gathering talent, and gaining experience are all needed when you go up against strong teams like Canada, United States, and Spain. In turn, you can be sure that other countries have already kept a close eye on the Philippines. You can't miss a Kai Sotto or an AJ Edu. As early as now, you can be sure that other teams have begun preparing for us. For now, we can celebrate the feat of Batang Gilas in the U18 Asian Championship and look ahead with a sense of optimism for the future of Philippine basketball.